You're so funny.
Ricky, what do you want to talk about this week?
Oh, so I didn't know which one you picked. You didn't tell me which one you picked.
Yeah, I did. Let's talk about road trips.
All right. So
we always do this conversation before the show, like, hey, what do you guys want to talk about? And then they give me like a list of like 5 different things. I'm like, no, that's not good. No, that's not good. No, let's save that for later. And then I physically say, like, let's talk about this one. And then you fucking forget. Ricky, what do you want to talk about this week?
Just really quickly, going back a second to the last topic.
Yeah.
The game I've been playing the most is this Picross app I got on my phone. I'm addicted to Picross. Have you played Picross?
No.
It's really fun.
All right. So this week, my topic started off as like bad road trip experiences, but I figured it'd be a better conversation if we just talked about road trips.
In general. Okay.
Yeah. Like it could be like.
Well, I want to know like why you specifically thought bad road trips at first. Like, do you never have you never had a good road trip before?
I've had a good road trip before, but I've had a significant amount of horrible road trips. Where, like,
what's like the worst one?
So there's like, so this could go 2 ways. Like the worst one for me personally, or the worst one for everyone in the car because it was kind of depressing.
For you personally.
For me personally. All right.
It doesn't involve you shitting in the car.
Then it's not bad.
So we live in the Bay Area.
We do live in the Bay Area.
That's a thing. And
we sure?
And
I think you lied.
But a while ago I lived in Stockton. When I was living there, my mom, her boyfriend at the time, both had this great idea. This like wonderful idea to take to do a road trip to Tahoe, right? And drive up there. So it's like me, my mom, her boyfriend, and his stupid son. Stupid.
How dumb we talking?
Like I'm calling him retarded.
No, don't say that.
I'm calling him
like
stupid.
Eating paste by 5th grade. Dumb.
Like, yeah. Like eating paste in high school probably now. I don't know. I don't like the kid. So we're stuck in this car together. My mom's boyfriend at the time was this Mexican guy who loved mariachi music. So guess what we're listening to the whole fucking way up there.
So it just feels like you're in one of those Mission taqueria places.
Yeah, that are trying like so hard to be a taqueria that they have to play this like 24/7.
And like just at some point, like on the hour, like 5 guys come from the back. One of them has a giant guitar.
Yeah. No, but it something like that did happen later on in the road trip. So we're going on this road trip.
This is a good one.
At some point we're in this weird like loop, and then I got car sick, and then I ended up throwing up in a bag.
Oof.
Like a man.
Yeah. Then shit for brains next to me had to pee really badly, so we had to keep stopping because his bladder is like this small.
Kids are always like that.
Yeah, going back to what you said about like being somewhere and then like random guys coming up to you, we go to like
Ricky got kidnapped at one point. He's never seen his actual mom since.
By mariachi.
We make a stop at this like it's like some like Spain like finger food place, very crowded, very small.
Okay.
And it's like in I don't remember what little town we were in, but it was like kind of like their mission.
Middle bumfuck nowhere.
It was
or whatever.
kind of like the mission.
Okay.
And at some point,
they really hadn't left the city at that point. They were still just in San Francisco. They were just in the mission.
Yeah.
He was just too young to like fucking realize it.
And his son was actually just peeing on buildings.
So we're eating, and then I see these 5 guys come in. Obvious mariachi band. I go, oh fuck.
No, if it's 5 guys, that's a burger.
I go, fuck, and then I just try to continue eating my food and not look up. And of course, like next thing I know, they're all right behind me. I turn around and they immediately start playing.
They start playing that one mariachi song they play.
No, they just start
they play it until you give them $1 too.
They start playing the Tatooine Cantina song.
No, I would actually give them money if they did that. It's fun. It's festive.
Anyway, to make this one short, that happened. I was already pissed off. We get back in the car. We're almost there. I'm like in my snow gear at this point.
Yeah.
To get warm. I'm car sick immediately when I get out and like put my feet on the snow.
You get car sick really easily.
I don't know what it is. I just do.
Yeah. The weird thing is I used to never get car sick, but now it's like if I read something.
Yeah, I've always been like that. I can never look at a phone. I can never look at like a book or anything. It's fucking awful.
I can't.
Sean Pitts, actually, from nerdsonline.com, he
is a car.
He is a car. He gets that problem as well. And the tip he has is actually looking straight at it so you can see like the size of like what's moving. Because the problem with motion sickness is you're not paying attention to what's going on like outside of the car. Like your brain needs to like your brain knows it's moving, but not seeing that motion is like what's fucking it up. So like looking at something like just straight like in front of your face actually helps with that, or at least it helps with him.
Still doesn't help when you're driving.
It doesn't. And it's also like a backseat thing for me. Like the backseat, you get the most of the motion. Like passenger seats usually.
It's like when you're on a roller coaster.
Nah, I fucking hate that on buses because I always feel that shit on buses.
Like for some reason, it happens the most when I'm in like your guys' car. Like after the show, because then like I'll be in the passenger seat, I'll be perfectly fine. Then we pick up Alyssa and I move to the back, and it's like immediately like,
Alyssa, you go to the back now. Ricky does.
It's like sitting in one of those seats like on a Muni car where it's like looking backwards. Those are the fucking worst. Like who thought that was a good idea?
They used to be fun. They'll be facing each other.
They're such Geminis.
They're such Geminis. Anyway, so we get out of the car and what?
There's a cat right there.
Mitty. Here, Mitty. Give me a little kitty.
Anyway, you were saying?
So, yeah, so...
I get to pet the kitty next. Oh,
no. Fun.
So I get out of the car, and the moment I step I put my 2 feet on the snow, I throw up. And little dipshit...
Just like projectile vomit.
Yeah.
Speaking of vomit.
So, we're like kind of next to the road. So little dipshit comes out of the door that I came out of, right? So I'm standing in front of it. I just threw up. He pushes me into it.
What a dick.
So I grabbed him, put him down. And threw up on him.
Both of you are shitty kids.
and then we went home.
You guys didn't even stay?
We drove all the way back.
See, I just love how easily I can tell you were like that kind of family.
There's a reason I like F is for Family. If you watch it, it's like this type of shit.
It's really funny because my mom, before she met Seven, dated a bunch of guys after she broke up with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that with any of their kids.
My mom actually
like any of her like their. Oh, I always did that. I'm even like that now, or not now.
That's so interesting. Like, I've never had that aspect before because my parents separated when I was very, very young. I think I was like just born or something. And
Easy couldn't even teach you how to dunk yet.
And it's weird to think like my parents never dated anybody that already had like a kid. So I've never had that like weird relationship where it's like, hey, our parents are dating each other or whatever, you know? Yeah. Like that's so weird to think about. Interesting.
That's always been a thing for some reason. Every time either of my parents like dated someone, they always had another kid.
Yeah.
And like the
and you're always the one fighting for attention. So yeah, it's bugging me.
I'm just lucky because like Seven was married before he met my mom, but they never had a kid. So I just had to wait till I got Milo.
But yeah, like first impressions every time like I meet like one of my parents' significant other's kid or something.
Yeah.
It always goes the same way. They're like, hey, my name's Joseph, and then I punch them in the because I don't like any of them after that little shit.
So like with
my
road
name's
trips,
Joseph.
With road trips, I don't think I've ever had any like bad road trips. Like we've driven up to Tahoe before, and that's really like not even really a road trip. That's like a 4-hour drive.
Yeah,
or
not
something.
even your Disneyland trip.
Disneyland, like it's.
That went.
I don't know if Disneyland, like I don't know if Disneyland counts as like a road trip. You know, like a road trip really counts as like we're stopping at several places and we're going for a long while and whatnot. Like, I guess Disneyland counts.
I think that trip to Disneyland counts.
Okay,
that technically counts.
And like we've had plenty. We've had plenty of drive downs to Disneyland. Some were great, some were not as great. I will not mention the one that was awful and has. I have since then been banned from inviting people to join us for Disneyland.
I know,
but it wasn't. It wasn't the road trip itself. It wasn't like the drive itself. It was being at Disneyland that that sort of ruined that day.
Oh, trust me, when you were texting me about it while I was back in the city,
you're like, fuck, I should have gone.
I was like, I felt so bad.
We'll never go on a road. We'll never go on a road trip.
We gotta go to Disneyland. We gotta go to Disneyland together.
Can we take Elias?
No, we need to go.
No,
for
just
me
you two.
Specifically, we need to do California Adventures because I've never been.
You haven't done California.
I just
Adventure.
did Disneyland for the first time.
See, the right way to do Disneyland. I think Henry will agree with me here.
It's both.
So Disneyland.
Well, so what you do, you get 2 park
hopper tickets.
Park hoppers, and the first day.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day, so you're really there for 4 days. You drive in like that night or whatever, and then the next day you go to Disneyland, and then you go the second day, and then you drive back.
After this, I'm gonna tell you my Disneyland
Okay,
story.
so
Just so you know.
So
you know who's never been to Disneyland? My mom.
Really?
Yeah, because she hates Disney. She hates Disney because she's always thought of it as like, oh, Walt Disney's anti-Semite. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
My mom has opinions.
And so you drive in the night before, and then you have the 2-day park hoppers.
Yeah.
First day, you do California Adventure. That's how you start. And you get there, you wake up early, and you don't
show up like late.
No, here's the thing. You don't half-ass Disneyland. You get there
at 8.
Like 20 minutes before the park opens.
You're spending a lot of money on this trip.
When does the park open?
It opens at 8.
It opens at 8. No, you get there 20 minutes before. You stay in that fucking line.
See, here's what I do when I go to Disneyland. Is this just going to turn into a Disneyland topic?
Hold on. So you do California Adventure. You do all your main ones there. I'm not really into roller coasters, so I don't do. What is it?
California Screaming.
California. I don't really do California. I did it once. It's like the one roller coaster that they have.
It's great when you imagine.
I forgot there was a loop-de-loop at one point, and I did that. I was like, oh, fuck this.
It's great when you imagine a hard rock version of California Dreamin' while you're on it.
I was just about to say, all these names that you guys are saying, I just sound like Mamas and the Papas songs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what California Adventure is, because they used to have a thing where it was like you were in a giant tangerine swinging around, but they replaced it with like silly symphonies.
So you do that if you're into roller coasters. And then Toy Story Mania.
Which is super fun,
which
especially
is like
when
one
you're
of the
like
coolest
with
things.
It's like the little shooting game.
Yeah, where you pull like a little
Toy Story Mania is like
the Buzz Lightyear one.
Buzz Lightyear one sucks.
Yeah.
It's because this tiny little laser, and you can't tell which one is yours. And Buzz Lightyear fucking sucks. You've not experienced Toy Story until you.
Toy Story Mania is like the perfect take your girlfriend to Disneyland on this ride.
Yeah. You do Toy Story Mania. Here's what you do first. Right when and this is why you get there early. You fucking run in, and then you wait in line to get the
Fast Pass.
The Fast Pass for Cars Land.
That's what I did.
Cars Land. That's the first thing that you do.
Let me tell you about that Cars Land.
Everybody
story.
wants to go on Cars Land.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Everybody
Hold
wants
on.
to do
Let me
that
finish
shit.
how you do Disneyland.
Now you shut up.
So you get your Cars Land Fast Pass, and then you do Toy Story. You do Tower of Terror. Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is always worth doing because it's one of those like
Tower of Terror is the
hotel one.
The drop.
Yeah.
You know what is super fun, but it's super hidden? I always like the Monsters Inc. one.
Oh yeah, Monsters Inc. is fucking awesome.
It's adorable.
That's my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, and those are the rides that you're basically just riding through like the movie, like the story or whatever.
I love
it's the ones where you're like with your date, like
Little Mermaid is always great because there's never a line for Little Mermaid. It's always just like you're just walking in and
because everyone is at Cars Land, Toy Story Mania, California Screaming, or Terror.
Exactly. And then you do, if you want to, you do like the Goofy Fly School.
Funny story about that
California Screaming.
California Screaming. Anyway.
That one's terrible for my back.
I remember.
That sounds awful.
So, for 3 years in a row, my cousin was visiting right when during the summer when we were going to Disneyland. So we went to Disneyland. And my dad was like, let's go on the Goofy one. That one looks fun. Halfway through, he's like, I want to get off this thing because it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's like really rickety. You're in this tiny little car. It's like a mini version of a roller coaster, basically.
Yeah, it's a rat one. One of those rat chase ones. Like, have you ever been to Legoland? Well,
I don't even know what Legoland looks like.
I used to go to Legoland.
Like the Simpsons episode.
I just imagine everybody who lives there as actual like Legos and like full body size.
Save us!
My knowledge on Legoland is that one Simpsons episode
and like Arrested Development.
Where they're in the square wheels.
I got tickets for Legoland. I want to take you guys to Legoland someday.
Also, Soaring Over California. Always a great one.
Yeah. I always love it because you go in there and then everything smells like lavender.
And then, let's see. And then you wait.
Think I'm lying.
No, I know. That's the funny part.
What else is there to do at California Adventure?
Well,
And they
eventually
also
the
have
World of Color. If you're
Or
into
you do World of Color if you're into that and whatnot. And then they don't have like a lot of great food places there. So if you're looking at, and this is why you get the Park Hopper one. So when you're done with everything in California Adventure.
Grizzly Peak.
Grizzly Peak is also fun. It's like a water
If you
ride.
like getting wet, I hate getting wet, but I always go on it.
If you like getting wet, ladies.
She said, I don't like getting wet. But
It's fucking worth it though.
I
On
don't
some
like
of those
getting
hot
wet, but
fucking days, on some of those hot, terrible days,
I needed
it's
that
so
the
worth
day
it.
I was there.
My biggest mistake ever, first 2 years I ever went to Disneyland, I did Splash Mountain last.
No, you never want to do it last because that's when the sun's down and it's fucking cooling down and then you're cold and then you get sick.
I didn't get to do it.
That's fucking sucks. Anyway, but once you're done with everything the first day of California Adventure, then you go over to Disneyland, get some dinner or whatnot. And then usually what I like to do, I always like to see a movie when I'm at Disneyland because they get that nice theater in downtown Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've got
I
that.
saw that.
And you go
The
through
year
you go through the
winter?
shops.
I was wondering what the hell that was.
They've got like a nice Lego store as well.
The Lego store is great.
That's the first time I actually saw the Simpsons set. Was at that Lego store. It's so fucking
I still
cool.
need to get that. It's
like
amazing I don't have it.
$130.
I think that's the only time that I will ever like buy Legos because everybody has like that state of mind when they're at Disneyland where they're
all
like,
these fucking hairs on you, dude. It's just like this really
It's
weird.
his fault. It's his fault. You're Mitty.
I picked you up from your house. You weren't even at the house with Lola.
I wore like
Brad,
this
the
same
button
outfit.
don't stop for a nothing.
I wore like this same outfit to Tasia's the day before with like different shirt
Have you
and
showered?
boxers. Yeah, like, different shirt boxers, with
Mitty.
like the flannel and stuff.
Minnie's really liking Ricky today.
What's up, son?
He smells you.
Anyway,
Smells you've been away from a
so
dog.
you do dinner at in Disneyland, and then you go to downtown Disney, do some shopping or whatever, and go to. I usually like to go to a movie because usually, conveniently, every time we go to Disneyland, there's always like a new Disney movie to go see. So.
I like movies.
And it's a
thing.
good theater too.
The movie I saw when I went to the Disney theater was Elysium.
That's a very weird movie to see.
Oh yeah, so what I was gonna say was like about the Legos that you guys said that they have Legos there.
Yeah.
Is that I feel like that's the only place where I'd like spend all that money to buy Legos because every time you go with people to Disneyland, they're always in that state of mind. They're like, "Fuck it, we're at Disneyland." Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2016.
We're a bunch of Leos.
and then you close out your day.
Yeah.
And you go home, or you go to your motel or hotel or whatever.
Holiday Inn.
And then you get up early for your second day, and that's all Disneyland. That's
Right.
all the shit at Disneyland. You usually want to get your what's the indoor
Space Mountain.
You want to get your Space Mountain Fast Pass.
That's my secret. Whenever I
have to
go,
tell you about my.
whenever I
Disneyland
go
trip now.
there, whenever I go to Disneyland, what my dad always does, immediately runs us all to Space Mountain, gets fast passes, goes on it,
Yeah.
then wait an hour, go on it again. Because Space Mountain's the shit.
Usually the fast passes you want to like try to get at like ASAP is Space Mountain,
Cars Land.
Space.
Cars Lands is in California
yeah,
Adventure,
but,
but,
like,
I'm
just-
talking about Disneyland specifically.
The Star Wars one because that
Star
one's
Wars
awesome.
one because you're gonna for me at least we usually get like 3 fucking
I went on
fast
it like
passes
3 times.
because it's always different and it's fucking great.
I remember like when I first went to Disneyland, no one went on Star Tours.
It's fucking weird.
I like it. I like the whole picking.
Indiana Jones. Usually get fast passes for Indiana Jones, so you don't
well,
have to wait in that
the
giant
thing
pit
is,
of
I always
people.
forget about Indiana Jones because it's always fucking closed whenever I go.
Oh.
Every fucking time, it's
So-
always like I've gone on it once.
Next
So-
time we go, we have to go on.
So let me tell you my trip, my first time there, my only time there, and then if there again, keep saying good shit to do instead if you come up with it. So we did the Disneyland trip like half a year ago, I think now.
Okay.
And I like the way that you do it. Get there the night, chill, right?
Yeah.
The way that we did it.
Yeah.
I go with Tasia and her mom.
Yeah.
And we went early in the morning.
Yeah.
We went early.
Oh,
that-
you like drove out of the city early in the morning?
We drove
Fuck
out of
that.
the city early.
No,
We
you get there the night before,
we
man.
get there tired as fuck. This is my first time in LA in general.
Ugh.
I knew I wasn't gonna like
And
LA.
you probably
Well, yeah,
you probably
LA
got
sucks.
into the city like right when rush hour was starting, like
Yeah,
that morning
so-
rush hour. Oh fuck that! See, like how you got to do it is like how we like Alyssa and I usually do it. We usually leave at like 4 in the afternoon, or we try to because by the time we get into LA, traffic is done.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And then you guys can just like sleep it off, sleep
Exactly.
that trip off. But no, we got there. Again, don't get me wrong. I love Disneyland and I loved this trip, but there's just some of it.
Who likes Disneyland besides my mom?
So we get there. I want to say we get there about 6 or about 5 or 6. Immediately, hey, let's go on the Walk of Fame. Okay.
With all this, whatever, you got to take a picture with the David Bowie one.
Yeah,
you
like that's like immediately what I wanted to do,
and you get to see some guy dressed up as Jack Sparrow.
And then like I got to see like, what is it called? Is it the Chinese Theater? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
it's something like that.
With
We know what you're talking about. Like the thing that's always in like
when
it just makes me think of Rush Hour.
Makes me think of Futurama.
And then with like the Star Wars, like
it makes me
R2-D2
weirdly think
footprints
of it makes me think of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
My favorite thing is that when I went with Quentin, we had like, so here's the thing. Whenever I go down to LA, my dad has a bunch of friends down in LA. So we see them. And plus we always go see like other things. Like the thing we always do is the day before we leave, we stop by the farmer's market down in LA because they have a great farmer's market. But so like when...
Oh shit.
Is it still recording?
I don't know if the audio is still recording. Everything's still recording? Cool. Yeah.
In the dark.
It's the dark hour.
Welcome to the goth
BCG.
hour.
Power went out.
It's like Cinemax.
We're back. The power went out in the middle of recording, so we took like a 20-minute break and waited for the power. Thankfully, it came back on. I was like, "Fuck! If this doesn't come out in like within the hour, we're gonna have to like just cancel the next week or whatever, or not cancel, but like just do like a
welcome to them to the goth hour.
Just record in the dark. BCG after dark.
BZG. Technical difficulties guaranteed.
BCG.
It's always
after
something.
dark.
Yeah, but it's never Seven's fault.
Yeah,
it's always
hey,
like
Ricky.
some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Hey Ricky, what are you wearing? I don't know.
So we were talking about Disneyland and how to do Disneyland and all that good stuff.
Oh my god, I almost forgot what we were talking about.
And so, but the original topic was road trips, and I want to sort of back out of Disneyland for a little bit. I want to talk about like there are 2 road trips that I've like actually taken. We decided while we were taking a break that like Disneyland still doesn't count as a road trip. It's a 6-hour drive. We're saying like at least a 10-hour drive. It's like what is considered a road trip. The one that I think of when I was a kid is my grandparents and I went to go see my great grandpa Larry, who
that sounds
lives
like such a like fake and
my great grandpa Larry,
who lives in
getting your mustache
Baltimore.
In.
What?
You're getting your mustache in.
It's like a stank stash, you know, where it's not really a mustache.
Yeah,
like I gotta shave it.
It's like the Latino kid in 5th grade.
It's like Jack Black's mustache and or not Jack Black, but who's the other guy in Nacho Libre?
There's a Esqueleto.
Yeah, he's barely got the little mustache going on.
How do you remember that?
Because I'm one of the only
Latino.
people who found it entertaining. Not a good movie, but entertaining.
I enjoyed it, but I knew it was dumb.
Yeah.
So I think he lived in Baltimore, so we did like a road trip through like New York and like Boston, all this stuff. We got to see like the Red Sox play at that stadium
Nice.
and all that
Cool.
stuff. That was like a really cool like memory I have.
And then I saw them recording The Wire. There were no cameras.
And like we went to like the Baseball Hall of Fame, which was like
That sounds
so
awesome.
fucking
I've always
awesome.
wanted to go there. That and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and roll. Again, we talked about it a couple weeks ago about we need to do a BCG company trip to Cleveland one day.
Yeah.
So I think
A
that would be
company
fun.
trip. We all have suits, briefcases. Then the briefcases are just filled with notes on how to look professional.
So I remember that as a kid, and I remember really enjoying that road
M&Ms.
trip. And like the other road trip that I consider an actual road trip was when we were in high school. We were in drama club, and my senior year, we finally got enough money to do a road trip to Ashland for the Shakespeare Festival.
Ashland, Oregon, if you don't know.
Ashland, Oregon, where they're very famous for having the Shakespeare Festival every year. They don't do just Shakespeare plays. The plays that we saw that year were
Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew, which was it was so weird because like our drama teacher, Miss Walenta, she loves Shakespeare, but that's the one play where it's a very like can be interpreted as a very sexist play towards women.
Well, yeah, she's very feminist.
And she's very feminist, and she does not like that play. But like, I don't know why we decided that was like one of the tickets that. I think it just like it came as a package, and we didn't really get to choose what we saw.
Well, I think what happened was that it was like she was so excited about going there, and it was like, these are the 2 Shakespeare plays we're doing right now, and she was just like, oh, it's Taming of the Shrew, but also like it's
King
still
Lear.
And also,
it's not like you're gonna go there.
So Taming of the Shrew, like, do you know that story?
It's about. So
do you cuts you off? So
ladies,
what a Gemini.
So what it's about is basically. So have you seen 10 Things I Hate About You? Okay,
that's
so you know the plot.
You know the plot.
So it's just about like
I can see why.
Yeah, so that's why
this guy has a hot daughter, but she's not allowing her to date anyone until his older bitchier daughter gets married off.
And no one wants to marry her because she's
the shrew, which is why it's called.
So because you guys made the reference to 10 Things I Hate About You, I imagine this very like sophisticated play. Yeah. And then in the middle of it, it's like the football scene where he's singing to her.
That's the crazy thing was the version that we saw was phenomenal. It was
a lot of fun.
And the weird thing is, I don't know if we actually went to this together. We used to go to Washington high school plays together. Yeah. I don't know if we went to the one they did Taming of the Shrew. It was a very like basic set.
I think we did go to that one together.
No, we went to the one where it was about the death row one.
Oh yeah.
Where we were in the front row and we were fucking dying of laughter, just like assholes, just because of how bad it was.
It was weird because the seats. Like it wasn't.
It was like in to another play.
It was in like a big auditorium, but it was a very like small play, so they had seats on the stage, and it was like a very close.
Like you were like Andreas was like right here to us.
I ran into him a couple months ago, and I was like, man, he came into Vans.
He was at the Agent Orange show with me.
Oh,
nice. I ran into him, and we ended up chilling for a little bit.
Andreas and Bartek. You guys are fucking bays.
Every time I see Andreas, I always like want to see Bartek because I never got to like meet him.
Oh my god, Bartek and I we have like the weirdest Bartek's names starting with the letter B. Yeah,
Good
they're
actor.
Both like they're both really good.
Back to Taming of the Shrew.
Back to Taming of the Shrew. So
I like how Henry brought it back.
So
do you remember that weird part like when the second act started and they were just playing Rock Band on stage?
Yeah. So this production was phenomenal because it was on a rockabilly set era.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it was like on what do you call it? Like a wharf, basically. You know, like all of these like sort of like candy shops and
like California
whatnot.
Adventure.
Yeah, and it was just like the set that they had, like when he's talking about like the assets that he has, where he had like this big ass television screen where he's like, we have like a boat, and he's like, they made the joke like, I've got 99 problems, but a ship ain't one. That one always stood out to me. But I thought that was funny. It was a very cute rendition, and the way they interpreted the ending was, and this is actually like one of the two ways to interpret this ending. There's a very famous monologue about her, like she used to be this terrible woman, but like now she's trained, now she knows how to live in society and all that stuff. A very shameful like woman thing of
the one that's followed by "Kiss Me, Kate."
Exactly. So there are two ways to interpret it, like the way it's actually written, or this other way where she's saying these things, but she doesn't really mean it. And this monologue is really about the man that falls in love with her and how she's trained him. And that's how they did it. And it was so fucking good. And it was actually like, they twisted it into this like empowering sort of like, I fucking own this relationship. Like I'm in charge and all this shit. Like, I'm still myself, but in a different way.
Right.
Also, had the super cute beat couple with the "I like you."
Yes.
Ferris wheel.
And
then we saw King Lear.
Well, but before we get to King Lear, like the ending was of like she owned all of this, and after we saw it, like Miss Willenta was so conflicted because she does not like that play, but she thought it was good, and she was like, no one could talk to her. Like she was like you could tell she was upset by like what she was feeling.
It's so funny to me how much she hates Taming of the Shrew, but her absolute favorite is Much Ado About Nothing, which has the whole scene at the end.
Yeah,
which is basically like you had sex with another person, screw you. We're gonna pretend you're dead.
Yeah. And then we saw King Lear, and that was a black box stage.
You know what a black box stage is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very, very close, very there's just like this tiny arena, and it was like King Lear, but in a modern sort of like militarized, very rich people sort of like set, very basic. And
Sounds better.
The guy who played the jester was so.
You mean Daniel? Oh no, Mr. Kim.
No, yeah, it was basically
he
Mr.
looked
Kim.
Exactly like
if you
Mr.
know,
Kim.
if you know us, if you've been to Abraham Lincoln High School, like. We're not being racist just because he was Asian doesn't mean
he looked exactly
like
he talked like Mr. Kim.
He talked like him, and he had like a lot of his mannerisms. And I was like, if Mr. Kim played this role, like this is how it would be. And he was fucking amazing. And like his death scene was just tragic, and it was just like we got to see they actually did this. Like one of the scenes, there's a part where they pull someone's eye out, and they fucking did it. Like where he had like a corkscrew or something. And you're really close, and so they had like this really good effects of like actually making you think
good like sleight of hand.
And we're like he's pulling it out, and then like this thing that looks like an eyeball like comes out, and he fucking stomps on it. It was the most cringe-worthy. Like I think it really
reminded me of like
I think that's my favorite production I've ever seen.
It really reminded me of when I used to go to Creepshow Camp as a kid, and we did all the old Gronguignol type effects.
And then we saw
you'll learn a lot of sleight.
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, which is fun. It's cute.
Which was, like I'm not a musical guy, but that was actually musicals. like that was a fun.
There's always one that like is
that was like a fun production, and that was the thing. Like all of these were really good, except the
one that I really like is Guys and Dolls. So.
Guys and Dolls.
Luke, be a Jedi tonight. I kept singing that while they were doing the play. And
everybody hated you.
Daniel was like, Henry, shut up. Go get us.
But My Fair Lady was also like a really fun thing, like especially when they're at like the fancy party and all of them like are in like a set space and all of these hats come down, like these fancy hats like come down from like cranes and like are on their heads. That's and funny. It was so fucking fun. And then I forget the last play that we saw. I forget the name of it.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, there we go.
You said Cheech and Chong. I was like,
what?
Cheech and Chong. Up in Smoke. That was great.
It's like Cheech and Chong, but the Odd Couple spin out. It's weird.
It doesn't like the play and what happened. Like I vaguely remember it. I remember liking it though, and I remember actually leaving that. And not a lot of people were interested, but I really enjoyed it because I forget. Was it based in New York? It was somewhere around there.
I want my ham.
But like the style of it was sort of like I want to say 50s.
Yeah, kind of 50s diner.
Yeah,
it all took place in a diner.
Yeah, it took place in like this diner area.
And if something takes place in a diner, it's either 50s New York or 70s Jersey.
And the thing about it was it reminded me a lot of like how Cleveland was when I was like a kid, and like that sort of dining, like and just like there's a lot of similarities of like where I grew up and stuff, and like I really liked it, and it was sort of weird that like not everybody felt the same way, and it's because they weren't hit with that same
sort had of a connection
association.
To that.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to more of the road trip portion of this topic, the ride there and back was
it's always fun every year.
As shit, man, because we had the fun vehicle. Mr. Scott was driving us.
Okay.
And I was the navigator. And we were all just fucking chilling, and we have a story here. We've talked about it on the show before with Daniel, where we're reading creepypasta.
That's when Daniel starts crying.
I was gonna say two things. I was gonna say one, was this the creepypasta trip? Two, I love Mr. Scott and would love to be in the car with him. Just like
for like he's
outside
like a
of school,
guy.
He's like the best guy.
My last year going up to Ashland, this past year, my senior year.
Yeah.
The funniest thing was that I was in Mr. Scott's car because the next 2 years I was in Mr. Scott's car because Miss Wally's car was always like all of the
the first time we went though, you were driving with Hannah and
Julia.
You were driving with Julia? I thought Julia was in...
it was Hannah and Mr. Topham.
Mr. Topham, and Mr. Topham has like the... he doesn't have like a top or anything. Like he has the convertible basically. And we're on the fucking Bay Bridge, and you just see Henry's like hands like straight up out of the convertible. And we're like, Henry, what are you doing? We're on the Bay Bridge. But yeah, it's just funny. Like those like road trips were fun. Like on the way there, it was the whole creepypasta thing with tuna. And then on the way back, I remember, I don't know, I can't find this video for the life of me, but like, I had this video of like an interview with Shavila where ice cream had ran out in the world. There was no more ice cream. He got really sad, and I was like, Shavila, wait! China has used all of the science in the world to bring back ice cream. I don't know. It was like some dumb thing that we were talking about. I just remember, but the quote I remember and I loved, and I just want to get this video just because of this quote was Shavila just saying, "Score one for China." It was just like those type of like road trips that were fucking
funny thing
awesome.
that happened to me in my last year on the road trip back was that Mr. Scott, whenever we're in the car with him, has a very strict no swearing music policy.
I don't remember. We actually didn't play a lot of music.
Mr. Scott said that.
Also,
he was with students. It was a professional like school trip. So
the funny thing is that I actually made like this whole iPod playlist for the entire trip,
and all
I got so excited about putting music. It ended up being 24 hours long. But the funny thing was that he was like, "If I hear one more song with swearing, no more music."
We actually did.
I want like a reel of playing games.
Like
with Mr. Scott
we played games like in the car, and we.
We did Russian riddles. Quentin did all these Russian riddles. That was amazing because it was great because it was the one where a bell tolls and a man dies.
I was about to ask, like, is this when that started?
Solve my riddle. A bell tolls and a man dies. And solve my riddle, and then you may kill me.
That set the board for Werewolf for the next year.
And that's the thing is like when we played Werewolf, like the first time that we went, that night was fucking crazy because I remember that was my first time playing Werewolf ever, and like Ian had told me about this game, and like I was like really excited.
It's so weird.
For the first 3 games that we played, I was killed the first round. I was like, "Fuck you guys! I've been excited about this game for like half a year."
We call that the Jack maneuver.
Yeah. It's so weird to think that you didn't know how to play Werewolf once because you're the one who showed me Werewolf.
Yeah, like I'm all about that fucking Werewolf game. Look that up. It's such a fun game.
It's my favorite.
I'm the
game
best
for
at
us
Werewolf
because
I never express emotion while playing it, so no one knows what I am.
I just like to see the destruction of everybody's friendship when like everyone gets irritated.
Oh, the year we went was when I went, if you kill me, I'm taking off my shirt and not putting it on for the rest of the game.
And then like Betsy, like our friend Betsy,
the Eternal Villager.
She was the Eternal Villager. Every single time she was a villager.
I composed a song.
So do we have any more road trips that we want to talk about? Because I feel like this topic is...
I actually didn't finish my Mr. Scott swearing story.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing Money by Pink Floyd.
Money.
And he heard the bullshit. And it was like, heard that.
But it's Pink Floyd, dude. It's fucking Pink Floyd.
But it's even better because he was like, anyone got any good music with you? And luckily, and Mr. Scott loves country music. And I just happened to have a CD. I just happened to have a copy of Woody Guthrie's Dust Bowl Ballads. So we just listened to that on the way back. Which is great because Woody Guthrie's the man.
Yeah. Woody Guthrie is the man.